Hi, this is Em, and in this video we are going to do another play with our Crayola airbrush and some various different colors, and we're going to play with stencils. I'm also going to show you another technique that I found that I like, and we're going to do a journal page or two. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, we'll go ahead and get started. As I mentioned earlier, this could be good for backgrounds for journals or cards or tags or what have you. I think as you watch, you'll get motivated to see some ideas that you might be able to put into effect. And as a tip, go down to the timeline and go to the cog, and you can make the playback at 1.5 times if you want to get through this a little faster but still get all the content. So having said that, the first thing I was thinking that I wanted to do is one side is going to have the stencil and be a little bit more formal, and the other side I just want to lay down a little bit of shading so that it can be decorated and not have a pattern that interferes with something else that I might want to do later. I think I'm going to use these colors for just the subtle background. And I want to start with brown to put like a little brown. You put the in. I will link to the video where I kind of did opening the box and playing around. It's more of an airbrush stippler really than anything, and it lays down color. And I also airbrushed some dried plants that I pressed upside down for color enhancement. So that might be something you're interested in as an introduction to why I have this and why I want to do things with it, and it'll give you additional ideas. We're going to turn on the air, and then I'm going to spray some over the side, just make sure I have a little color coming out. And all I want to do here, and I said it in another video, but I say again, you can control the trigger, and the more further back that you push it, the more air will come out. So if you just want a light spray, just put it lightly. And I just want to stipple the edges. And then you can go in closer if you want it a little bit darker. The closer that you go in, the finer the spray will become, and the more that you push back on it. Just test it out. Ooh, that's a pretty intense blue. Okay, real high. I don't want much color on here. Because if this is used in a journal, I want people to still be able to write and not have it interfere. So that's all I'm going to do with that, which is just some stippling. I'll wipe it off. So you can see it's just not, well defined, but it'd make a perfectly suitable background page for a journal. On this side, however, I want to play with a stencil. And I brought down one that would cover the whole page. So I think we're going to do the pink and blue, and we'll edge it with a little bit of brown so it ties into the back side. And then this is the same blue that we used on the back. Turn the air on. Make sure it's coming out. Now I don't know if I want to do an ombre type of effect. Or whether I just want to, well, basically, I don't know. We'll see. Spray, make sure we've got some color coming out. Yeah, that's a pretty color. So what I like about this, just think of it more like a colorant stippler than anything. At least that's what I think of it for. And as you saw on my other video, you can spray water, for example, if you're doing dried flowers, or I use 70% alcohol, and it will smooth it out, that application. So there's really no right or wrong. Just try different things. And I'm going to leave that. I just want it subtle. I'm not looking for in your face. Let's take a look. Oh, I think that's pretty. What I was wondering is if I wanted I have a pan of water over here for these plastic stencils so that you can rinse them off if you want. But I'm wondering if I want a background, something in the background color. I should have done the background color first, but I didn't. But I do want to tie it in with a brown, so here we go. And I'm going to just put some brown stippling in between. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do there. I'm going to wipe this tip off. And bring it up to the camera. I think it's pretty. What I'm going to do is take a white piece of paper and another stencil, and we'll do some random stuff. I'll take it lower to see if we can get it a little less stipply and a little bit more saturated for that type of look. So if you want to stay tuned for that. I got these from the dollar store. They have some, they're not super fancy, but I think that I'd like to do a potpourri on this one so that it could be cut up for journal tags and that type of thing, or you could use it on a card or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to get some other stencil yellow in. And you're still getting some brown out of there. This is just going to be a little overview. Just lay down a little bit of something. Alright, that's it. I'll do this feather. I think that would make a pretty tag to cut down. So we'll put a feather here, and then, now remember, this page is intended to be cut down. Okay, what else do we have here? Let's put this over here. All right, I love this color. Not that butterflies are necessarily a tealish color, but hey, we can do anything we want to. Oh, that's interesting. Now, if I wasn't on camera and I wanted to wait, or even later after it dries, you could take a black marker and define in the antenna and the body and make it even a different color yet. And just do that quickly by hand. That wouldn't take very much time. So that's something that if you wanted to define it a little bit, you could do that. We're just going to use a blue. That way, if some of it gets on the butterfly, we don't care. Since we're making a potpourri page here. Now I do want some blue on the feather. That's all we'll do there. I'm going to use a yellow. That'll change some of those other colors to oranges and greens, I would imagine. Gotta untwist my cord. I don't think I have this down far enough. I wasn't coming out, so I didn't have it pushed down far enough. There. Get some of that other color there. Alright. That's what I was doing, I was looking for something that's going to make the other colors blend. Okay. I'm ready to pull off the final stencil. The other one came off fairly easy because I did it on my pants to help it to not stick. Alright, that one worked out okay too. I'm going to spray the back because, again, if I use these for tags or something, I want the back to, well, it has a ghost image, so I think I'm just going to stipple the back a little bit. I'm going to cut some of these down and I'll be back in a minute. So to recap this video, let's take a look at a couple of things that we did and maybe give you some ideas on how you could use the airbrush stippler. That's what I'm going to call it, is I'm calling it the airbrush stippler, so because that's what it's good for, and I think it's very pretty. So here is some pieces when I cut these down. So I don't throw the bits away, because what I'd like to do with those is is to put words on them. Makes a good background for words. That way when you're doing cards or other tags or pockets or something, you've got, this ties in with your stippling. So I did that, and I did an Explore. And then that last piece of paper that we did, I cut up. Here's the pieces from it. You remember that we did the butterfly. I took a Sharpie marker and went around the outline to give it a little bit more definition. And then this, I figure you could use it as a rip sheet to tear up, or you could use it on something else, but it's a nice little element. Here's some more of the background pieces. This is the rest of that doily motif. And I figured, you know, you could use it as part of a belly band, or you could make a pocket out of it, or you could do any number of things with that particular design. And then here's the feathers, how they turned out. Actually, even this feather on this background looks kind of pretty. So I like that. And then lastly, we just started out the video doing this sheet for my intended purpose, which is a book page. So I'm going to fold it in half. So there you go. Another way to use it with your stencils and other things. Have a play. I appreciate you joining in. I hope I gave you some ideas, and have a wonderful day.